Okay, so the first couple things I want to do is actually go over the various playstyles of Diva. I arbitrarily wrote down 5 things. I think there's a lot more, but we'll start with 5.
Okay.
The first thing that you can do is like support or pocket someone, and what this has looked like in the past is in the meta of um, Ball Diva. It was Echo Tracer, and then uh, nope.
Missy Sun.
It was Zen Brig.
Oh, Brig. Okay.
Um, the Diva later changed out for a Sig,
Hmm.
depending on the map. But in this composition, what you saw was like a pocket style. And
Hmm.
what's nice about Diva is that she has a lot of play styles, but the point of her is that on the flip of a coin, she can change super fast, right? So she can do all of these in one team fight. But the main point of this composition was to pocket the Zen, right? And what that meant
Hmm.
is keep him alive, reduce the amount of healing that Brig needs to give him, and let him take more aggressive angles with your pocket, right? Because she's also like counter dive, right? You can't really dive the Zen if Diva, Brig, and Zen are there, right? It's
Yeah.
too dangerous, too risky. You need to invest a lot into that situation. So that's one of the play styles, and I call it like support or pocket. The names are arbitrary, but I'll write it off. You know what? I'll type it off to the side. Um, Now, when I was watching Siegel when he was on Dallas Fuel, he learned Diva, right?
Uh-huh.
And he mentioned something called Fat Genji, which is actually like super important and like a pretty good explanation. What he described is Genji in some situations, at least at the time, he's, you know, gotten more playstyles since, but at the time he was kind of like a finisher, right? You use dash to secure kills, to finish things, and to chain your cleanup, right?
Uh-huh.
Diva's kind of like a fat Genji in that sense because micro missiles are the way you secure kills, right? And like a kill can also be like immortality field, but like Diva's really good at chasing down things that are low health and finishing them off. That's
Yeah.
one of her roles. The other one, it kind of goes hand in hand with. So this is number 3. It's kind of the same as 4, but I call it suffocation. Basically, pick someone and make sure that they don't have a good time, right? You can make someone's life living hell almost as if you're a Sombra and just negate them, right? Whether that's the main tank, a hit scan, or like the support, right? You can just take someone out of the game and
Hmm.
make them not have fun. The next part I call my high ground, and basically your role is just to make sure that the enemy team isn't on high ground. And right. And the way you do that, honestly, is just you use boosters and a melee and it'll knock them off. You normally don't have to commit micro missiles unless they have a lot of health, right? If it's like the off tank, if it's like a Mei and you need to force cooldowns out, right? If it's just like a normal hit scan, you typically don't need to commit micro missiles unless you think you can get a kill in that situation. But most times you can't, right?
Okay.
Um, the last thing is for burst damage. Um, Diva does a lot of damage, right? One use of micro missiles can kill 2 training bots, right?
Hmm.
That's ideal situations, right? But with a good amount of headshots from your mouse one and the micro missiles, you can kill about 2 training bots in the length that micro missiles fires for. She's a lot of burst damage, is what I'm saying. The mistake I see normally is people use that burst damage on shields, which is wrong, right? There's a time and a
Yeah.
place for it, but if a shield is above 75% chance, no shot. Not even worth
Yeah.
the cooldown. If it's like close to breaking, fine, sure, right? If that's your fight plan, most times avoid. Using your E on shields.
Okay.
Maybe a break shield, maybe. Um, but normally not.
Okay.
So I've kind of outlined these 5 playstyles for Diva, and what I want to do is kind of like show situations within this map that would count for this, right? So
Okay.
what I'm actually going to do is go into a custom game and just show you some things, and not even on Diva. If I were to play Sigma on Eichenwald, I guess attack or defense doesn't really matter. Probably attack, you'd see it. There's a very like specific way that Sigma can suffocate a player, and you see it all the time. You're very familiar with it, but I want to point it out for you so you know.
Okay.
What Sigma loves to do is just put a shield by high ground. Wow, this is really hard to play with 60 FPS and minimized. Like, you know how Annas like to play up there, right? If we're taking a
Yeah.
team fight here, like a shield right there, like just glorious, you know? It negates so much. It suffocates the Ana, forces her to change her positioning, right? Maybe she has to play there, maybe she has to play down there, right? But like a shield right there is like good suffocation, you know? Because like if a team fight's happening over here, I've just taken her out of the fight, right? And like
Yeah.
she has to burn 700 health, 700 shield health in order to get value in the team fight
Yeah.
over here. So that's like an instance of suffocation. Another one on like Junkertown that you're probably super familiar with is just putting a shield up in front of a Widow, forcing her to reposition, forcing her to use grapple to go over it, you know, take even more difficult angles, right? But
Uh-huh.
that's like an example of suffocation. And actually, in this game, the enemy diva does a good job at that, and I'll point it out when it happens. So we'll start this VOD. Your positioning as diva is really good pre-fight.
Defaults
When
pretty quickly.
pre-fight is like temporary positioning,
Yeah.
poke phase, you know, how to force engagements, you have good positioning. Your positioning in the middle of a team fight is okay if there's a target call. Outside of that needs a little bit of work, and we'll get to that.
Okay.
But at the start here, I really like where you're standing. You're going to invest micro missiles here, and it's a waste. Your matrix here is also super sloppy.
Time to raise my
When they're in
ATM.
rotation, you don't need to matrix them. Right? And think about it, because if they're in rotation, even if they poke you out, it would be detrimental of them to change their plan and then be like, oh wait, like Diva's low, let's push on her, right? So you don't need to
Yeah.
matrix in this situation. You can tap, because what you want to do is you want to suffocate. You want to play to negate the Ryan's ult charge and eat every single fire strike. Your goal in this is to eat 2 things. You want to eat micro missiles if they're trying to secure a kill, and you want to eat fire strike off cooldown.
Okay.
Outside of that, you know, you can try to matrix these 2, and like you'll get value out of that, and you can negate some healing every now and then. But your job is these 2 things.
Okay.
Any matrix you have outside of that is like min-maxing your character, right? And that's where these things, like this is just eating the ultimate. You're not going to eat a right click, right? This is negating the poke damage. This is negating the poke damage and some of the healing. Or I guess that's wrong. You would negate healing and some of the poke damage. But your job is to negate securing a kill and the fire strike cooldown, right?
Okay.
If you're negating the fire strike cooldown, it's going to force this Ryan to play differently. And you know, because you play Ryan, like it's super obnoxious when a diva eats every
Yeah.
single fire
It's
strike, right?
horrible.
You have to play differently because of it. So you want to force that to happen.
Okay.
So right here in rotation, you can see my mouse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You matrix them while they were here, but they're just poking, right? They're not going to
Yeah.
commit to this, so that was kind of a waste. And like you wasted a good amount. You wasted more than just tapping it once. And now you're investing micro missiles into a shield, right? Like
Yeah.
even if you break this shield, there's not going to be follow up for it, right? Even if
True.
this wall goes through, it doesn't matter, right? If they get walled off here, like we want, it doesn't matter if they have shield or not because he's just gonna swing for the fences.
Yeah.
So some wasted cooldowns there. And this booster isn't great. I have a note. The only time you should be using boosters in this mirror, and I'm talking explicitly this Maycree Rush mirror,
Yeah.
is to chase off angles or contest high ground, right?
Okay.
And you can argue that contesting high ground is the same as contesting off angles, but like that's the only situations, right? So this right here, not great.
Yeah. I definitely have like poor instincts as far as booster usage. Like it's obvious if I want to go up high ground, I'm going to use
Yeah,
it, or if like I see an opportunity to push someone off high ground. But like I definitely notice that I feed a lot because like I notice that a
yeah.
lot of I don't know if they're good divas, but I notice that a lot of annoying divas like boop into you all the time, and like maybe I just like think
Mm.
about that too much, honestly.
I actually think that this first fight, this first fight is the best you play this whole map, and it's actually pretty good. No, like it's actually pretty good. You do your job, or like you try to do your job a good amount. There's
Uh-huh.
just some like game sense things that I don't think you're necessarily aware is your job as
Yeah,
diva.
absolutely.
But in terms of like booster usage, like boosters does damage. It's like
Uh-huh.
a little less than a melee, and
Yeah.
so you can do like pretty big burst damage with like a boop and a melee animation cancel, and so that's why a lot of people do it. Plus, you can force displacement out of it if you can get away with it. The issue
Yeah.
is into Maycree, you typically can't get away with it.
Yeah.
So this is good. Now here, this Kree is gonna off angle you in stairs. And this is
Uh-huh.
why I didn't like this call from clones, because what's going to happen is we're going to try to take a fight here,
Uh-huh.
right? But they're going to try to take a fight here. And
Yep.
what happens is they put Kree here and the rest of their core here, whereas we just have 6 in here, right?
Yeah.
They have the off angle on us. And so in this situation, you need to both, and this is difficult, right? Almost impossible. You need to both pocket your Ryan and contest the Kree, right? You don't necessarily need to kill him, but you need to force him out of here. So,
Yeah.
and you'll see how this plays out, right?
Nothing's gonna stop.
That's a 4-man flash right there,
Yeah. Yep.
and like that's your job, but also you also need to pocket your Ryan, as you can see. As you can see, because like we're trying to take the team fight here, and that's what Clones wants to do, right? Which is fine.
Yep.
We've kind of forced them into this situation, so you need to pocket your Ryan in this case. But this off angle is so strong on us, so you can see the value that he gets, right?
Yeah.
Now we've kind of ruined that, but yeah, wanted to point that out. Now here, you used your boosters just like a couple seconds previous to boop the Rhine,
Yeah.
or I think you were trying to, or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what that was.
Who's to say, right?
Yeah.
What you should have used them for was the off angle here, right? Go on the Kree
Okay.
with boosters. You can use micro missiles. You're not gonna get a kill here, but it will force him out, right?
Yeah.
You typically can just like fly in this pattern and boop him here, so it sends him this way, right? If you just fly straight at him, it'll boop him over here, and you can
Uh-huh.
get demeched for that, right? Because you have all of these people that can look at you in the Kree. You're off angled from here, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. So this is fine. Breaking the wall is good. It would have been nicer if you were over here at this point, but it doesn't really matter that much. Now here is interesting. You go for the BAP, which is okay because you've kind of split the playing field, right? They have like this 4-2 awkward split, but we don't really have. There's not a lot of clarity as to what's going on. But what I like about
Yeah.
this is your micro missile usage. Like that's value, right? And as I say, like micro missiles are for two purposes, or for one purpose, right? Securing kills. Immortality is a good reason to invest micro missiles. So I like that. That was really good. Now here, it's awkward because we just lost clones, right? So we need to like pick a target, and like in hindsight, the BAP was the lowest health.
Yeah.
But all that matters is like we're doing something, right? You don't have micro missiles. You're about to have boosters, but you don't have your burst damage, right? So
Yeah.
this is kind of shit out of luck lost. But a decent one. And then you get T-Mac'd. From here, you have... So, getting staggered as Baby Diva is really bad, and it's hard to avoid. But I feel like you have a pretty good sense of avoiding that, but you do need to kind of learn... You're a bit too passive with it.
Okay.
You can be more aggressive, but as you learn aggression as Baby Diva, you're gonna get staggered, right? So you need to change it depending on the situation. But like this is okay. I actually kind of like how you react here, right? Like you're keeping this cover. You're close to the mega. Diva's a great target here. You get the DMAC, you get the remac, and now the fight's lost, right? So you're just gonna die on point. But for what it's worth, you did a pretty decent job, right? So starting here, you tried to set up the team fight on these stairs at this choke. Then we repositioned here, right? What you should have done was contest the off angle. Instead, you went for the back line and got Immo out, burned Immo down. But what you needed to have been doing is, 1, suffocating the Rhine, and 2, pocketing your Rhine, right?
Yep.
Now, in this Brawl Rush mirror, pocketing is a bit different than it was in the Wrecking Ball Zen Brig meta. Because you have more roles, right? In this rush meta, you have the responsibility of contesting the off angle, negating the poke, negating ult charge, pocketing him, and contesting high ground, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of shit to do, right? Whereas in that Zen thing, you just let him do his thing, right?
Yeah.
And then later, when like Wrecking Ball, Tracer, and Echo are like, "Hey, can we go on Zen?" You're like, "Yeah, sure." And then you get the kill, and then you go back, right?
Okay.
In this meta, a lot more complicated. You need a head on a swivel kind of thing. But for what it's worth, and not really knowing your role or responsibility, this was pretty good. I thought this was fine. So you die, we'll remake. What I like about second fight is your positioning, but I wanna point out some things, right? So let's talk about High Noon. The longer you hold the ability, the more damage it does, right?
Yep.
As Diva, there's no reason to start matrixing High Noon as soon as you hear the audio cue. Wait like a good amount, because it's really funny because this Kree is in his own head about your matrix usage into High Noon because you don't know how to matrix High Noon, right? And he's thinking he's playing against someone that does. So it's actually super funny because if you're McCree into High Noon, you just hold it until matrix stops and then you let go, right? But he's thinking like, oh, she's holding matrix the entire time, like it's going to be expiring soon, so I'll click it now. And then meanwhile, you haven't used matrix once, so you have a full matrix resource and you hold it for the entire thing, like the entire noon, and then eat it, right? So there's 3 noons in like the first defense and attack, or the satire map. There's 3 noons, and you actually negate 2 of them. So you're 2 for 3 on this, but you shouldn't. you do it incorrectly. But the start of this fight, you partially get demeched because of this. So here, great position to hold because you can use audio cues to hear this. Like D.Va can play in dive and brawl comps, right? But she can't play in spam because she doesn't do poke damage, you know?
Yeah.
So there's no reason to poke, right? Just scout, and like the way you can scout is fly up in the air, look, and drop back down. Or just hang out and listen, right?
Yeah.
So this is good. I like this. You get spotted by the Kree, which is it's fine. It was gonna happen. So you tap Matrix. You're actually holding Matrix right now. You should use less resource. If you tap Matrix, it should like you should get 5 uses out of Matrix if you just tap, 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 tap. Right now you'll get about 3 uses out of it because you're holding, holding, holding. Okay.
Okay.
So just try tapping it. It actually uses a lot. It uses like this much.
Yeah.
But try that, right? In these situations, right? Like this is annoying, and like ultimately it's not a lot of damage, right? But you still need to mitigate it so that they don't have a win condition on the fact that going into a fight you're at low health, right? So you do need to
Yeah.
matrix this. Like it sucks, it feels annoying, but you do need to just tap it, right?
Okay.
So yeah, going into this fight you're at half. You're regenning from half rather. Right. And so here's when they start to start to noon, and you start matrixing the entire thing. Right? He's holding it
Yep.
here, right? He doesn't have anything in his targets, right? He's just
Yeah.
holding it, and you've used all your matrix on him
Yep.
channeling it. So that's what it is. Now you know how to deal with noon. Wait, then try to guess. Like, think about the time it would take for him to charge 200 health, and then think about the time it would take for him to charge 150. I say 150 because you're not necessarily going to know if your whole team is at full health, right? 150 is like a really conservative metric of like, okay, these two might be killable, or like these two might be killable now, right? So I'm going to start Matrix, and then you can hold it. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, but that's kind of high noon. Now, this fight. I liked your positioning here. You know, you had Lucio here, Ryan was here, we had Bap here. Yeah, May is right here. And then I think George is over there as Kree. This is okay. The issue is that I actually think Clones is out of position here. He needs to be playing either here or here. This is not a good spot for him. So they have the ability to just walk through for free. Now we have a good wall here, right? And we talked about that, but they have a better wall. So this is kind of unfortunate, and you're gonna get demeched first, or you're gonna get demeched for this.
Yep.
And these boosters secures the fact that you're gonna get demeched.
Yeah.
Right. And I think what you were thinking is, okay, let's take a team fight here, right? Like we have a good wall, you know, we're ready to go. But the reality is that Clones was out of position, and we took enough poke damage that we can't really take this. So you're dead. Dropping off the high ground, not bad. I think. So you start to shoot at the immortality, which is good. You know, that's value. But then after immortality is gone, you have no idea what to shoot at, right?
Yeah.
And we'll watch it. So you just walk away, right? Like you can't actually get to the ammo, and like it expired, right? But the Kree was still down here. You could have shot him. Like, you know, shooting up here, just hoping, praying is fine. But this rotation takes a lot of time at you. Just jiggle peek.
I was really scared to peek that Kree with the window.
Yeah, and you should be, right? But this rotation is so much time, and like D.Va builds remech so fast. Like I think it's like 3 headshots and you have mech.
Yeah.
Maybe 4. This is fine. Again, you have no idea what to shoot. That was a
Yeah.
shield and an ice block. But
Yeah.
right here, don't remech in the open. Higher level teams will punish this so hard. But for what it's worth, this fight's lost, right?
Hmm.
We invested, well, we lost Lucio, you got demacked, Aaron died, Clones is as good as dead. Yeah.
I was kind of trying to follow like chilling on that side of the point that we were talking about in the VOD review on Monday. Like I don't know how well I communicated that in game,
Mm,
but at least that was going through my head right there. Like I wanted to like regroup there, but then we kind of just were dead.
yeah.
It didn't work.
Yeah, I think for what it's worth, like your initial positioning is good. It's just when we get into the team fights, you don't really know the strengths and weaknesses of Diva yet,
Yeah.
right? Like you haven't been rewarded by doing the things correctly yet, and you haven't been punished from feeding. So,
Yeah.
you'll learn pretty quickly. But
Hmm.
so this is lost. Just skip this, right? So what I wrote down for the first defense, the first fight's good. The second fight, you need to learn matrix usage with the tapping and especially into high noon, how to kind of deal with that.
Yeah.
I talked about ability usage for micro missiles and the boosters. And yeah, your roll. So going into this attack, so this first fight we do the Aaron Widowmaker play, right? I actually want to show you it from the enemy Diva's perspective because she does a really good job at contesting Aaron there, and like that's her job, right? So when we get to that like high ground above Mega, I'm just gonna swap to her and show you what she does. Yeah, just so you understand like the different play styles and how to change on a dime for those things.
Sure. Honestly, it might be good to go through like a really good Divas match at some point and like just see how to play Diva well.
So if you watch much Overwatch League, I'm just gonna type out the play styles that I have written down. So one, support, pocket, two. Five, burst. Okay. If you were to watch Overwatch League and watch Diva gameplay, I would recommend certain people for these certain playstyles. Hotba from he has a really good understanding of how to support and pocket people. Like people don't really like him, like him as an off tank, but I actually think he does a really good job. He is not very aggressive. Oh, I spelled brush damage, not burst, but whatever. um, he has a really good pocket. If you're looking for more aggro play styles, Void is really good at securing kills and like burst damage.
Hmm.
But if you're looking for like someone well-rounded, I'd say Choi Hyobin is the best well-rounded diva.
Okay.
Another good one is Hanbin. He does pretty well. Poco is interesting. He's really good at contesting high ground, and he has good breast damage. But he's not like the kind of person that secures kills a lot, which actually like is kind of detrimental to him. And he doesn't really pocket people. He when he's like suffocating someone, he's really funny about it on stream, but he doesn't really do that much in Overwatch League. Um, so yeah, I'll just arbitrarily say Hotba for one. Um, 2 and 5 is Void. 1 through 5, Choi, and then 4 and 5, Poco. So if you're looking for like different diva playstyles, these are kind of like the people to watch. Honestly, Choi is really good, but the issue with watching Choi is that he changes everything so quickly and like he's really good at it.
Yeah.
He contests high ground like just naturally, so
Yeah.
he's not like flying up to people to do it. He's just already there, so they don't
Yeah.
have a chance to get there. But he's really good at that. And like in terms of suffocation, he'll like chase a diva and like counter dive them when they're trying to suffocate someone, right? So in
Okay.
the instance when we're on Widow, this diva's gonna go after Widow. It in this situation it wouldn't work, but something that Choi would do depending on the map is like actually chase the diva as they're chasing our Kree, right? So you take a 2v1 and secure the DMAC and stuff like that. Like that's an instance of how Choi does like suffocation. But
Okay.
yeah, there's a lot of good people to watch. Okay, so again, matrix usage here. Very, very scrappy. If
Yeah.
if you're diva and you're trying to shoot someone halfway across the map, you should know your shotgun pellets are doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
So
Time to raise my APM.
why are you matrixing this diva?
Yeah.
You spent half your matrix,
And I
you
get
didn't eat fire
sidetracked.
strike,
It's
and
really
now
bad.
like look at our resources going into this, right? Like,
Yeah, it's dog shit.
So it's good to matrix in rotation, rather matrix in rotation, right? Because we're going up the stairs.
Yep.
This is a good area to matrix. This is a good area to matrix just because of the windows, and then like that door is good to matrix. But you don't need to matrix going around this corner. Just matrix this corner, right?
Okay.
And what I typically say is like play back, play behind your team, play slow so that you can see everything that's happening, right? Or like play in front of Kame, I guess.
Yeah.
So right here, you should be worried about this angle, right? If we wall this, they're less likely to be able to break this wall. They're more likely to be able to push this, right? So as you're backing up, I would snap over to here. You don't so you can matrix this if you want to. It's kind of one of those things when you have really good resource management, you can matrix this. But just kind of put your crosshair like right here and watch both doorways as you back up. And if you see something, matrix it, right? But right now, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So here's an okay place to matrix, right? Just because you're not sure if they're gonna poke you out here, right? So it's not the worst thing ever. But they don't, so that's good. Now, we see them here, so we match. And goody on the fire strike, this is good. And now right here, we're just playing slow. So, if you are playing slow, you save micro missiles for the engagement, right? It's not worth poking out the shield because he can just hide around the corner, right?
Yeah.
Especially if we're waiting for Aaron, like
Yeah.
it's not worth it. So just right here, just hold down mouse 1, tap a matrix every now and then, Make sure you're eating fire strikes, and if they're trying to push into you with Kree, eat the flash. Just off the Widow, and now I'm actually just gonna watch the enemy diva. So she's doing a decent job, right? She's just kind of shooting arbitrarily in this area and then matrixing. She used a lot of matrix right there, but the idea that counts. And then Bap's gonna die soon. There it is. Now she's like, oh shit. Where? And she goes to suffocate Aaron. She doesn't need to get this kill, right? She just needs to force him to reposition. Right? That's all she needed to do, right? She actually overstayed her welcome too. But yeah, like that's a good instance of like suffocation and contesting high ground and that stuff, right? So now back to you. I'll just rewind it a little bit.
Would it make any sense for me to, if Aaron I don't know if Aaron communicated that just because I don't remember, but if Aaron happened to communicate that Diva was on him for me to go and peel for him,
It wouldn't have been possible just because, like,
I'd
if
have to go
this
under.
window wasn't here, sure, but it
Yeah.
is. So you would have to. Well, I'm just gonna cleanse this. You'd have to either fly out this door and over to her, or drop down Mega and fly over. But regardless, like either way you go, you should get demeched for that because
Makes sense.
just flying in a straight line. So
Mhm.
in this situation, no. In some situations, yeah, probably. But this was fine. So if we're walking out of a choke, Matrix clones out, right? Don't
Okay.
don't just fly out, just Matrix in this area, and you'll eat all this poke damage that's going in on him, right? And what this does is it allows him to save shield health, and it's as good as a Zarya bubble, right? Like
Yeah.
he has to worry about the Mei, and he has to worry about the Ryan, but he can essentially walk out for free swinging, right?
Yeah.
You got good value out of the boop, but yeah. Okay. I'm just looking at positioning right here. So
Probably go on the
I
crew, maybe.
I don't like this matrix just because if someone was over here, this matrix makes sense, right? But it actually looks like you're putting matrix on their Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. You're tracking the Ryan with matrix.
So some things that it's not something that I'm actively thinking about that much, just because like it's still taking me a while to like learn the cooldown usage, but
Hmm.
I wasn't respecting the fact that the BAP was dead. Their BAP, I think
Yeah.
he's still dead, and I know that Kame's always complaining about his shots getting eaten by the diva, so
I
that might
see what
just
you
be like
mean.
a
Okay.
subconscious thing, honestly.
Well,
Because like I
in
am
that
thinking
case,
about
then
that
that's
sometimes.
if that's your reasoning, then that's pretty good, right? I mean, obviously the BAP's dead, but like
Mhm.
one of the things is suffocation, and that is suffocating the Ryan, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not letting him get resource. So if that was your
yeah.
idea,
There's
then
no
that's
BAP
good.
though.
But yeah, unfortunately, my
Some
man's
connect
over
there.
here. Yeah.
Rounding tower to forward barrier.
So right there, you had Matrix on Jared. It's actually okay. What I would have liked to seen even more is Matrix can be Choi. Choi is actually really good at this. He uses Matrix like a Mei wall. If you stand here, or rather, if you stand here and Matrix out this way, you are essentially negating all of this, right? Because you just put a Mei wall right here, you know?
Yeah.
Nothing gets through this, right? So no matter what this Kree is aiming at, unless he's aiming at you, right, which is
Yeah.
fine because you're full health,
Mhm.
no damage from any direction goes on your Ryan. Instead, like
Yeah.
what you're doing is you're aiming to negate this stuff, but this is a Mei and a Ryan, right?
Yeah.
You know? What the hell? Aren't you over here?
Wait.
Okay.
Oh, I disappeared.
Cool. Whatever. Wasn't worried about it. So yeah, you were matrixing out this direction, right? Like, and that's kind of okay, you know. Like you, to a certain extent, you do need to matrix the Mei every now and then because of her right
Yeah.
clicks and fire strikes and negating the Ryan. But he is the threat right now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. So again, not
Oh
knowing
shit.
high noon, but yeah, and just like watch it. He's right here, right? But just watch it
Yeah.
from this angle, you know. If like that's a good matrix, right? But at this point, you're just guessing when he's gonna do it, and you know
Yeah.
sometimes you have to do that, right? And just vaguely negate this area, right? Like you just put up a Mei wall right here, right? And that's good. I like this. You are, however, guessing at it because
Yeah.
you had no idea what health people are at. So Yeah.
Oh.
So unfortunate. But I liked the idea of it. Like, this is a good safe position. You can just matrix arbitrarily in this direction and negate a good amount of damage right now. The issue is that they can also off angle us. So like, we
Yeah.
were screwed no matter what. But you know what you do here after this? You jump off a ledge, which is perfect. You don't get staggered, you don't give ult charge. This is great.
Yep. I got out of there as fast as I could.
Yeah. So I like that. That was good. That was clean.
Do we cap first? I can't even remember.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. So that's an interesting matrix, like, and it's one of those things where if your resource management is really good, you can matrix this angle, but like you do use a lot for it, and it puts it on cooldown the next time. So you did get kind of lucky. The Ryan fire strikes late here. You get the eat, but walk off of the May wall. And so everything from here is kind of interesting to watch, right? Because you can see like the value you're getting out of Matrix. Right? Like that's pretty good, Like, you're putting it on the Ryan, you've essentially walled off any projectiles trying to make it into this direction. And if these two rotated smart, right, they would get in here for free, right? Because there's no May wall anymore. But unfortunately, Kame is sad. But that's not on you, right? So. Yeah, so coming out of this corner, I would just tap Matrix once. And right, you can tap it, and then if you see something like a reason why you need to hold it, you can continue to hold it. But yeah, that's okay. Now, here, Clones is about to die. And what you do is you boost her forward and try to Matrix him into May and Ryan. There's nothing you can eat against May and Ryan. But I think it was one of those, oh shit, he's about to die things. So you just kind of inted towards him to try to do whatever it is you could. No, he's dead. He got caught up in the Maywall, and he dies for that, right? What he should have done is, if he gets Maywalled, he just stays here and waits for it to break and then walks back in. But instead, he made the rotation by himself. Nice MO. So you're dead here, and they're very nice to you. They kill you instantly.
Yeah, honestly.
Not even a chance. Which is nice of them, but yeah. So this fight. Yeah, good Matrix. This is really good usage of micro missiles. You do need to get better range with it. And this is super micro, right? You started cooldown about here, let's say. Mm-hmm. Jump is a movement ability, right? And you want to think about it that way. You don't want to use it too much, but it has a purpose. You can start the micro missiles jump, right? It would look like this, and then you start to fall, you'd land here. While you're in air, you can start shooting, but the issue, what you do wrong, and it's super minor, but you start shooting too soon, and when you're shooting as D.Va, it slows your movement speed, right?
Yeah.
So you actually miss like a quarter second micro missile damage, and I'll show you. Right, you micro missile, then you start shooting. Right, and like it just slows you down a little bit.
Sure.
As you're rounding that corner, so you could have been a little faster there. That's just more APM, more damage, stuff like that.
So you're saying micro missile before shooting the shotguns, so I can get closer?
What I'm saying is, as you're rounding that corner, don't hold down mouse 1 to shoot, because it's slowing you.
Okay.
Yeah. And what you should do is jump to carry the momentum, then you can shoot in air, because it's not going to slow you while you're in air.
I got you. I see what you're saying.
So the rest of this micro missile is fine, right? You know, you secured the kill, and that's what matters. Anything after that is
Mhm.
just however you maximize damage. Now here, it's actually sick where you land as Baby Diva, but this bomb is like totally a Hail Mary, right?
Yeah, they all kind of.
So you just eat it, and you know, like you
Someone
get
fucked
May
up
with
May.
it, but like you shouldn't have,
Nerf
you know.
I was just like, where can they push? It's gonna take them a while to rotate into the hut, and if they have to rotate all the way into the hut, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
The Rhine,
like
they could
this
all
shouldn't
rotate
have
right there.
happened, but the Rhine goes this way, and May dies to this. So
That's
like,
really funny.
right, but like, yeah, this was a Hail Mary.
Yeah, it was.
As you're learning Diva, okay, so there's like 3 ways to use bomb. Zoning, remech, and for kills, right? Zoning's pretty simple. It's kind of like a Hanzo Dragon. Remech's pretty simple. It keeps you in the fight, right?
If you have like a bunch of people converging on you, you can kind of make them fuck off with that. And
No, you'll typically die as Baby Diva and get nothing out of it.
oh,
And for kills, like obviously the value is a pick, right? The issue with using bomb into this Maykree rush comp is that a lot of win conditions are based around the diva. So in this situation, they had Mail, they had Noon, and they had Matrix, and you just yeeted your bomb straight up, right?
yeah,
What
they
if
could easily mail it.
they May ulted here and just walked through the window, right?
Yeah,
You're now out of mech in a May ult, and your whole team is dead here, right?
yeah,
That's like, you know, you got to be careful about bomb, and that's like some of the pros I think is super annoying, but they're just saying just use bomb to remech. Like it's such a bad ability. You can use it outside of like these 3 things. You know, you just have to be aware that they don't have these 3 things, right? And that's like a tough situation to find yourself in, but it's certainly plausible, right? That's why the pros are saying just use bomb to remech, because it's so hard to find a situation where this isn't a thing, this isn't a thing, and this isn't a thing, you know?
yeah. It's true.
And you've already negated Fire Strike. You're not worried about micro missiles. Like then it's okay to not be in mech, right? From there though, you should try to split the team. And like this is a decent split, right? Like you got assuming the May is alive, right? You have Diva, May, Ryan over here. You guys killed the BAP, but you have Kree, Lucy over here, right? Like this bomb does a decent 2-3 split, right? You know,
Mhm.
that's good zoning out of a bomb. And you also got a pick, right? You totally just yeeted this and like you landed on high ground for safety, which was sick, but it's kind of lucky too. you
Yeah.
know?
I don't know. I mean, it's not a whole lot of thought went into it just because it's kind of like
Yeah.
panic mode when I'm on Diva right
Yeah.
now. But I was like, we got shattered and they might try and converge hard on us. So I
Yeah.
want to punish them for
So
going on
the thing
us.
about Diva Bomb is that you really need a good understanding of boosters in order to use it.
Yeah.
You
True.
don't really have that yet, and to be honest, I still struggle with it too. It's super challenging. It takes a lot of practice, but there's no situation in this fight right here where bombing counters shatter, because the only thing you can do is just drop bomb right here. Like don't even use boosters, right? That's how you would negate shatter follow up.
Okay. Yep.
But the Rhine was at full shield health until the bomb, right? So like it wouldn't matter. They can just literally stay here as long as they don't get flashed, right? They'll be fine. So like, yes, you can counter bomb follow up on an ultimate like Shatter or Mail or even Window in some cases. But normally you shouldn't look to trade ultimates in that way. You know, be very safe with your diva bombs.
Yeah.
Double
This is a good remake, right? You're out of LOS. You know, I'm actually going to show you it because it was so cool.
I don't even know if it was totally intentional, but
I don't think I could replicate it if I tried.
I was thinking about it, but I was like, "There's no way I'm actually gonna land up there," and then I did, and I was like, "Oh, cool."
That's sick. Yeah, like, but no, this is great. Like, you're remaking it out of LOS. Like, this is clean. I like this.
I had a question about using Diva Bomb for remix. So are you saying in that case I'm like losing my mech and I press Alt right as I'm getting ejected from my mech, or does it give me a free remech if I have Alt when I'm removed from mech?
So,
That makes sense.
wow.
What the fuck is that?
Sorry.
Is that bad?
Bap coming from the heavens and respawning. Next fight, when you guys attack, you do the jump. You go for this. You fall down. You fly back up, and then everyone dies here and down there, right?
Yeah.
You get demeched right here. This
Okay.
would be a good place to remech if you hadn't used bomb out here.
Okay, so bomb, it's just a lack of understanding because I haven't played enough DV yet. Bomb gives you a free remech once you're out of.
Right.
Mech.
So
Okay, I see.
I guess, are you online?
No, I'm not, but I can be.
After this, there's only like 4 more minutes. After this, I'll show you how you can remech.
I'm
Okay.
back in the fight. Power to forward Q.
You don't need to drop off high ground here. Just keep it, right? You can still poke out, like, even if you guys are going on the diva, you can still poke her out by just walking back here. One thing that was really nice is this Kree is coming for the high ground, right, and to contest Aaron, and you call it out, which is really good. That's actually your job, to contest high ground right there.
Yep.
Saw Kree going high, so you flew up. Yeah, good matrix. Nice.
I wasn't sure if Aaron noticed it yet, so I was scared he was gonna get flash fanned.
And that's great. This is your job, right? You're contesting the off angle, and you're suffocating the Kree, right? And you're not even taking much damage for it. You don't need to overstay your welcome, right? He's gonna back up now. You can just hang out here and just like.
I wasn't told. This was just an awareness thing. I didn't know Aaron dropped yet to point because I was thinking if I were McCree, I would kill that fucker if I knew he was up there.
Okay.
But I guess
Defense
maybe
matrix
Aaron
I see what you mean.
didn't know he was up there. But yeah, I definitely was like, oh shit, so he's coming. He's coming back.
Slot 1.
It's a waste of boosters.
True.
Because guess what you're about to do right here?
Objective
Yeah.
New defense point. Objective B.
Time to raise my APM. I'm gonna have to shoot
Yeah.
you
So
down.
this is unfortunate, right?
Yep, I think Clone said no, and it just like didn't register in my
Yeah,
head yet.
and
that
you
no
said that,
means
right,
he dropped. Yep.
Oh man,
very sad.
it's like at no point is this promising for us because like although we have the numbers advantage here, right? Like this is a 3v4 up here. They have a Ryan and we have but a Diva. And not
Yeah,
only that,
that's
but they have a
frozen.
May into this. Like,
Yeah,
this is
just fucked.
this is just these guys win, you know?
Yeah.
But then not only that, but like they have window on high ground. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. But this isn't even feasible, right? Because this is just a 2v3, and the Diva's not gonna die to this. So like, yeah, this was really unfortunate when I saw it. I was like, huh, nice, cool. Clones feeds, Pog. Ryan drops, and then I don't know what you saw, but you like called as if this Ryan was killable. I don't think he was ever killable.
What I was doing, it's me compensating for the fact that I've been scolded for not talking once clones dies.
Okay, that's
I was just
yeah.
like, I'm just gonna practice, even
Good.
though we're not
Yeah,
gonna fucking
just
do anything.
call a
It's-
fucking tank. Easy clap, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Then I won't yell at you for that. But at this point,
just go off the map.
yeah. And what's unfortunate is that the Rhine tags you while you're using boosters,
Yeah,
so
and
like
he gets the fucking
so
kill
he gets
for it.
credit,
It's
which
very
is
sad.
unlucky. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, you
with
could
the
have
bunches alt
you could have like
charge.
stopped boosters here and then waited a second and then walked off, right? But
Yeah.
that's just micromanaging. So yeah, he'll get credit for this.
Oh,
Sag.
97. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is fucking horrible.
Which is really unlucky. And that's one of those things that like Gorba has no idea happened either. So like now they just have a shadow, right? You know, it's like
saw
what
that,
do you
like,
do
my
about that?
heart dropped, but I was also like, fuck it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even know if I said it. I should have said it.
I'm back in the game.
You're probably like, how did he get credit for that? If
Yeah, I was sad.
anything, I don't blame you. Just don't. So this is good. This is good. This is good. Okay. Yeah, so you don't need to matrix this poke damage, and also neither does she, right? So technically, you're wasting matrix because everyone else is hiding.
Yeah.
But not only that, but like what are they gonna do, right?
Yeah.
Like even if they poke you out, like you're fine. They're not
Yeah.
gonna push this, right?
Mhm.
Because of this jump. And you're not gonna push this because you're by yourself right now. So,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, a lot of resource wasted, like a lot of damage mitigated, but it's a lot of just stat padding.
Yeah.
So now you're going into a fight. Both divas are hurting on resource, but at least it's even.
I'm gonna shoot you down.
You're trying to predict the fire strike. You don't need to.
Get through this.
So at this range, McCree's fall off is so high that he is not even worth matrixing.
Loading taste.
And like I said, like this guy is not even close to. Oh, I can't. How do I? Give me the Cree. God damn it. Anyways, he's not even
Press
close.
F10.
Yeah,
F10.
it. Oh, it did work. Nice. He's not close to like getting a kill here. But you eat it anyways, and like this shouldn't have happened. But he's thinking like, oh, like she probably doesn't have full matrix, right? No. Because both divas wasted matrix right here, that all you've been doing is regenning since then. So you just hold a full matrix on him and then eat it. And yeah, nice. I mean, it shouldn't have been, but nice. Nice. Got walled off by your own teammate. Yeah, at this point you don't know what you're doing. This rotation you did was really bad, right? Because
Yeah,
look at
I
how
agree.
exposed your whole team is. Look at how exposed you are. Like you're off angling the Rhine, but why? You know?
Is there a reason why? Wait, is there an enemy in our behind our window right now? Like if you go over to our, why isn't clones on point?
I think you just
Yes.
lost shield.
Oh, okay.
But what you should have been doing here is contesting this high ground. This is the
Yeah,
instance
sure.
to go for the boop melee, right? Just move
True.
them around. Don't let them play Kovacs in your backline, you know? And I know you know about it because you ate the
Yeah,
high
I
noon.
do. Yep.
Nerf this.
And then there's this.
Yep.
This is really bad. And you know, I'd much rather you make plays like this to learn like what's overly aggressive and what's Like, I'd rather. I hate when people play too passive, and this is an instance of someone not playing passive, so like it's fine as you're learning. But my God, is this terrible?
It's horrible. No,
like,
I
not
know.
only is this a bad location for a bomb, but also you don't even make it.
Oh no, does it kill me?
So like, yeah.
Oh my God, that's really fucking bad.
And then you're just here
Yeah, I'm just
as
dead.
Baby Diva into like you don't even get frozen, right? You just die to the Kree, right? Like the Mei is terrifying and all, but like you die to the Kree, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was. I watched that and I was like, all right, writing that one down.
Yep.
So yeah, nice, good shit.
Time to raise my BPM.
I think this is the fight to get walled off.
Yeah, this one I struggled with too.
Great. It's your job. Yeah, and so half the team is gonna miss this, or a third of the team. You're gonna get walled off in front of a window, and oh my God, the panic in your character is just hilarious. Like, oh fuck, 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 oh fuck,
I was
fuck,
really
oh fuck,
upset.
and he backed. Yeah. So this would be a decent place to like bomb to remech, right? If you had it, you know, like you could bomb here and then just stand in this corner for remech. That would be fine to do, right? So you're still in the fight, you know, stuff like that. That's an instance of bombing to remech. Desperately trying to get ult. You got a window to do it. There's an ammo. Then you're like, oh shit, I should probably shoot the ammo. But then you don't commit to that. Start shooting a diva. The diva is here to contest the window, and it's amazing that you got mech out of that. She should be just matrixing, but you got mech. Now you're like, all right, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, right?
Back in the fight.
Fucking McCreels. And you eat it. Like, I'm just amazed. Absolutely amazed at this.
Well, he had to use it because he was gonna die. He wasn't getting healed by BAP.
Yeah.
With the
this interaction should never happen, right?
Yeah.
Like, not only is he doing it from low ground, right? Like, you put you just remac'd and put a full ass matrix into him.
Yeah.
Literally the entire thing to eat this ult. And like, he could have kept going. Yeah, that you didn't need boosters there. I see what you were going for, but you can't kill him in that case. So now it's you versus the world. This was eatable, but it would have been really tough to do, right?
Yeah, my reaction time is not great for eats right
not
now.
gonna fault you for that. Just pointing it out.
I actually find it easier with Sig for some reason to eat Grav. I've actually never eaten a Blizzard with Sig, but I eat a lot of
It's
Gravs.
really hard. His hitbox is the dumbest thing in the world. It's a fucking skyscraper. This is unlucky. Like, this is lost, right? But you're getting demeched, and as pilots being launched out, you just fold. Like, just the timing is incredible, and you're just dead. So
sad.
Oh, I did want to point this out. So in the past, I've been saying you should only eat micro missiles if they're used to secure a kill. In this case, we're gonna have Lucio right here, Kame all the way back there, and then you and Ryan here with the enemy diva here. This is good a good matrix because you don't have support here, so it's okay to mitigate this damage, right? Otherwise, you guys are going in kind of low, or Kame is going in with less ammo, right?
Sure.
So I think this matrix is okay. It's unorthodox, but it's okay. don't need to re-peek.
Yeah.
Pocket. Yeah, and like again, that was a good angle to Matrix, right? Because your Orion's here, you're Matrixing here. The whole team is over here, right? So like theoretically, there's only a few things that can go through Matrix, and that's, you know, Orion swing. And then as you lose Matrix, he'll die. But you know, that angle that you took was good, and like that position that you had is pretty good. I like that. You could have also done it from up here too, like more exposed to these two, but you know, options, right? So this is now. Are you online yet?
No, let me log on quick.
I'll just show you quickly how to. How do I do this?
Okay,
go to
I'm
preset,
signed on now.
controls, then nice. Then I'm just gonna edit this to start with alt.
Okay.
Spawn with ultimate ready. Enable. Okay, perfect. Okay. Yeah. So we'll go into this. Just demech me.
Okay.
Now entering
You can
King's
play
Row.
whatever you want. Oh, I don't have ult. Alright, let me get ult.
Oh, you need ult? Okay, 1 second.
Pain.
Wait, what? Why did that break your...
I have a damage scale. This is like a drill.
Oh, what the fuck? I was like, what the hell?
It's fine.
Wait, why do you not have ult?
I don't know.
I spawn with ult.
Team.
Do we need to swap teams?
Team 1 or team 2? No. I'm team 2. Okay. Heroes, Diva, all teams, team 2. Spawn with ultimate ready. Sure. Alright, here we go. Restart match. And we'll go from there. Okay. So
Now entering King's
there's like a
Row.
huge window of when you can bomb as like you're losing mech. So I'll explain what I'm doing. Basically, are you able to both shoot me and watch my screen in Discord?
I can probably go into a windowed view. I don't have my second monitor set up right now, though.
Okay.
Let me try.
Then you'll
think I
just
can
have
do
to watch it live. So what I'm gonna do is you're gonna demech me.
I think I can do it. I can do it. It's just like really gross looking, but I can do it.
I'm gonna, like, as I'm in the demech animation, I'm just gonna hold down Q, and what you're gonna see is that it's gonna launch me out as if I was ulting, but I'm actually being demech, so go for it.
Okay.
Nerf this.
So like I'm leaving the mech, my character has already left the mech, and I'm pressing Q, right? Like I'm not even in the mech as pilot. I can do it again if you want to watch.
Yeah. Okay, wait. So. Okay, let me watch it again. Oh.
Nerf this.
Okay. Yep. I see.
Yeah. So like it's super quick, right? You have all the time in the world, right? So like.
Okay.
I don't think we get it. Right. So like I can be out. I can shoot you. I can get my mech.
Suiting up.
And like the time. So okay, what I want to show you is the time it takes for me to leave the mech, right? I don't think you'll die to this, but I'm gonna face this direction, and it's gonna launch Pilot Diva in this direction, right?
Okay.
And notice the animation for it, right?
Nerf this.
See that?
Yep.
See how far I launched? So like from here to here, right? Vaguely. Anywhere in this window, I can press Q. If I'm landing here, anywhere from there or there, right? And I'll show you that.
picking a fight.
So D-Mac me.
Nerf this.
Right. See what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
That's how you like remech his diva.
Okay.
You just kind of ult while you're in the
All
DMAC
systems
animation.
check
And you're good to
I
go.
see. What I was thinking was if you have ult and you get out of your mech, I thought you were saying that you automatically have a free mech.
Oh no. Well, kind
I
of.
guess.
It's just not
Yeah,
free.
yeah,
Rally
yeah.
power, forward shield.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, cool. So that's kind of how that goes. And you know, there's a time and a place for it, right?
Time
But
to raise my
Yeah.
APM.
the only other thing to know is that Diva's bomb follows the animation
Matrix
of
activated.
your boosters. So like, if you go this way, the later you press bomb, the less distance the nuke is gonna travel. But if you do it like super quick, it'll go pretty far.
The whole distance of it.
Right.
Okay. That makes sense.
Not only that, but like if you do like weird movement like this, right? It'll also follow that flick that you do. Like it's not gonna go up and down, right? But if you do,
It will
like,
follow like the last bit of it.
another thing you can do is like a super slow bomb,
Game on.
where I'm not looking straight down, but a little up.
Nerf this.
Like you can travel.
If you look straight down, it's just gonna sit there, right?
But you can do like slightly not,
Nerf
and
this.
it'll travel slow. And you can even get it more extreme than that, right? You can do
Now
like
show them.
literally,
Nerf this.
and like it's moving.
I see.
That's kind of how, you know, shooting the mech works. And of course you can just fucking press Q.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Nerf
Big
this.
splash damage.
But yeah, that's
Now show them.
that's basically it. So like the main things to go over is like your rolls, like consistent high ground, you know. You have burst damage. You don't have good poke damage. You can tap matrix. Like, all right, just watch Discord real quick.
I'm watching.
If I'm pressing mouse 1, right, like this is the length of time, but if I'm holding it, like it does this, right? Same with matrix.
Get through this.
One click, it uses like what, this much resource, right?
Yeah.
Routing
one
power
click,
to forward
not that
barrier.
much, right? So 1, 2, 3,
I'm gonna have to
4.
shoot you down.
5. You get like 5 uses out of matrix, right? And obviously
Okay.
you can hold it for however long you want, right? But
Yeah. Part of that comes from like confidence in my matrix usage. I'm like, oh, I'm not getting good value out of this. Maybe I should hold it for like a split second longer type of thing.
yeah,
I don't
you
know.
gotta
I'm
know
probably
what
just
you
overthinking
want to
it.
do, right? Like
Yeah.
as
absolutely.
McCree, you're not gonna just yeet a flashbang, or like as Ana, you should know not to just yeet your sleep darts because
Yeah.
there's a reason for them, right? Same with matrix, right? You
Yep.
should have an intent with it, and the intent in Brawl Mirror is to negate the fire strike. Negate every fire strike. You know, if he already has ult, you technically don't need to, but it's just you can do it,
Yeah.
so why
Still
not?
damage. Yeah.
And then, you know, don't let
Routing power to forward
the
barrier.
diva kill your friends.
Yeah.
Outside of that, like there's more you can do with it, but there's not a lot that you have to do. So,
Makes
that's
sense.
basically it.
Nerf this.
That's all I got. I hope that was helpful.
No, it was.
I'm back in the fight.
It's been like a month since we last went over it, so it was
Right.
super helpful for me to like
Cool.
cover that stuff again now that I feel slightly more comfortable on her.
Do you want me to send you like the notes of like the play styles, the ability usage, and that
Oh
stuff?
yeah, of course. If you
Yeah.
if you have them,
Yeah.
I wouldn't. You don't need to write it if you haven't written them.
I have
because,
it
like,
as a note.
Okay, yeah,
thing.
I would love that then. That'd be good.
So I'll send that to you, and so that's clear, just so it's written down for you. And like I said, support pocket, Hoppa, Void. I forget who I said. I guess Troy. Poco, Troy, and then Void. Like these are the people to watch for like these playstyles. Troy does everything,
Troy's good at everything though.
but Hoppa's really good at this. He gets a lot of flack for it because it's not a flashy playstyle, but like
Yeah.
he's really consistent at this. Void gets a lot of credit because this is a flashy playstyle. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, and then Poco is just fucking Poco. It's
Yeah.
weird,
I've seen Poco's shit before.
right? It's just
It's
it's super
interesting.
random. But like, if you actually watch his stream for the content that he's doing, like he is doing things pretty well, and he's playing comp, right, which is
Yeah.
even harder to do.
Uh-huh.
Because people don't communicate that well. So
True.
I'll send this to you, and hopefully it'll be useful.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I will see you tomorrow.
Yep, thanks, Trouble.
Yeah, have a good night.